Oh, yeah, that's right. Here we go. We are live. We are back in action. It is Power 32 podcast time. Power 32, Power in Football 32, as in 32 football teams in the league. And we're going to be going through a whole lot of them today. Oh, man, we got a great freaking – oh, man, we got some people in here today, man, with the knowledge. We got Chris. We got Smitty. Twan's going to be coming in a little bit. We're going to have a whole lot of fun right now, man. So it's NFL time. We're going to drop some nicknames on you, some players that don't have that they deserve one, other things like that. Look, it's going to be jamming right now, all right? So we're ready to get this party started. So let's do this bad boy. First up, let's say hi to everybody. My name, again, Jason Fearman at Sports Prophet 1 on Twitter. Let's say what's up to Chris. What's going on, baby?
What's up, man? What's up? Thanks for having me.
Hey, my pleasure, man. What, are you kidding me? Getting you guys on? What are you kids? I mean, it's like getting pro athletes, man. Come on. You know what I'm saying? Smitty, you're wearing a pro athlete jersey right there, bro.
Oh, yeah. Roddy White, Atlanta Falcon, great.
That's right. We were just talking off air for a second about how underrated that guy is. And he really was, you know, because Julio Jones gets in there. And that's a guy that we're definitely going to talk about in a minute because, you know, my 49ers, we want to trade for him and, you know, get him over there. You know what I'm saying? So we can take care of you guys. You know,
it's going to be tough.
It's going. I know. We don't have a lot to offer. That's the problem right now. You know, we gave so many draft picks away. So it's like, I don't know, like maybe like swap a player. Like how are we going to get that done? I don't know, man. It's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, that would be tough.
Yeah, Chris, I don't want to give away a defensive lineman, you know?
Nah, yeah. That's what I was saying. When we were chatting on Twitter and everything, that's what I was saying. Like, 2 second-round draft picks for sure, and then I mean, because y'all don't have a first for like the next 2 years,
right?
So 2 second-round draft picks for sure. You might have to throw in some more draft picks, but then give them like maybe 1 or 2 players. I honestly was thinking maybe go defensive player, but not maybe go linebacker, but not anybody but Fred Warner. Pretty much, like take your pick. You can have anybody but Fred Warner. Everybody else is on limits.
Or that's where I was about to go.
Yeah, or either go trade Deebo Samuel, let him go.
You know what? I was thinking. It's funny you say that, man. I was actually thinking about Deebo Samuel, and I love him, bro. Don't get me wrong. I love the way he plays, but we got Brandon Ayuk, who does a lot of the same sort of stuff.
The same thing. Yep.
Right. So getting Julio Jones would be great. And I don't know about you, Smitty. Would you love to have Deebo on your team?
I think I'd rather have D Ford if he can stay healthy. I know he got a big contract, but Atlanta Falcons need pass rushers. So D Ford would probably be at the top of my list. Yeah,
man, I don't blame you. Nick Bosa, Eric Armstead, like I don't want to get rid of these guys, man, but if it may take that to get a guy like Julio Jones, and defense has been the 49ers' strong suit, but we got to throw the ball down the field. And Jimmy Garoppolo is not great at doing that. So we'll see when Trey Lance gets in there at another time. And speaking of rookie quarterbacks, I mean, that's the first guy I'm looking at because I'm a 49er fan, fellas. So I can't wait to see him when he gets in. I don't think it's going to be until very much later in the season. It could be kind of like a Patrick Mahomes sort of situation where Alex Smith goes the whole year. If Garoppolo can manage to stay healthy and play well, then otherwise, Trey Lance probably will sit this season or maybe play the last game now that there are 17 games in the season. But I want to get your guys' opinion. First, you, Smitty, what do you think is going to happen with that situation?
Repeat that one more time.
Yeah, for the 49ers with Trey Lance, like, do you think like Jimmy Garoppolo, if he's playing really well, are they going to keep him in the whole time and let him ride out if they go into the playoffs and whatnot? Or do you think they got to work Trey Lance in at some point?
I think they'll give Jimmy G the keys to the car until, he falls off or he gets injured because he hasn't played a full season in about 3 to 4 years. So I think once he hits that injury reserve list for a short time, I think Trey Lance takes over, which is why I think they'll work him a little bit more than any other rookie this offseason because they know his time is sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I got to tell you guys, I never look forward to a preseason more in my entire life, with all these quarterbacks out there. I want to talk about more. But real quick, your opinion, Chris, on what's going to happen with Trey Lance. How do you think it's going to go down?
Yeah, so like I remember you all were doing, you, Damian, and Nikki were doing a show the other day. And I had mentioned to y'all that I think Trey Lance will probably start by week 6, and that whole situation is really giving me Kaepernick, Alex Smith vibes, because Alex Smith got hurt, Kaepernick came in, and all they did was move forward with Cap. And that's the same thing I see with this, because really, no matter where Alex Smith goes, it's kind of like the Tyrod Taylor effect, right? Where Tyrod Taylor goes, he gets hurt, the rookie comes in and plays. Patrick Mahomes, for instance, in Kansas City. Kaepernick, I don't think Kaepernick was a rookie, but he might have been actually. But anyway, with Cap and Alex Smith goes down, boom, Cap comes in. And so I see the same thing happening with Garoppolo. Garoppolo can't stay healthy. He gets hurt. Trey Lance going to come in and he's going to take over. It's the same thing with the Bears. I don't think Andy Dalton's going to get hurt, but eventually Fields is going to get the start sometime this season. But I think Trey Lance, by week 6, he'll be the full-time starter for y'all.
Yeah, I want to get you guys' opinion on that too. And as far as Trey Lance goes, I pretty much agree. When Garoppolo goes down and he gets hurt, it'll be Trey Lance's team from there on out. Once he gets in, I don't think you can take him out. I don't like that. Once the man's in, keep him in, right? So I'm all about that.
Hey, y'all might have Justin Herbert came in last year and took over. So I mean, y'all might have the same situation with Lance. Right. I'm interested to see what Lance can do, because I honestly think Lance is going to be very good. People say, oh, he went to a small school, North Dakota State. But Carson Wentz was North Dakota State, and people may not say, or people may think Carson Wentz isn't good. But if you look at the stats, the numbers don't lie about what Carson Wentz does. He had one bad season in his 4 years, and that was last year when the team was just completely ass. Like, the team was terrible.
Yeah.
So
you know what I think happened in Philadelphia? I just think they got off the same page. I think the coach, not Frank Reich, but Doug Peterson.
Yeah.
He tried to use something that Carson Wentz wasn't used to instead of going what works. And I think they got crossed up trying to switch over playbooks and just went haywire.
Yeah,
but
it didn't help when your offensive line is terrible or like got hurt, and it doesn't help when your receivers, you're playing with dudes that were like practice squad receivers or drafted like in the 5th round or something like that. So
the 4th round receiver was the best receiver last year. That's always a problem.
Right.
All
of a sudden, like 40-year-old Deshaun Jackson comes in out of nowhere, like week 13. It's like, what the heck is going on? Jalen Reagor didn't pan out, but maybe who'd they draft this year? Who's their receiver? Did they get Smith?
Devonta Smith.
Yeah, they got Smith. So, we'll see what happens. If I'm going to compare him to anybody, and I mean, this is a big comparison, but he would have to fill those shoes, is Tyreek Hill, because he's such a small guy where he's going to get a lot of quick screens. He may be able to burn you downfield. So he may be a really big piece. But the guy that I wanted to draft was Justin Fields. All right. That's who I wanted the 49ers to pick. So I'm a little upset they didn't, but the Niners ain't stupid. So I'm happy with the decision they made, because they ain't going to give up 2 first-round draft picks and a 3rd just, for an experiment. That's ridiculous right now. They're a team that's ready to go ahead and win. Maybe not this year, but the next year when Trey Lance gets his stuff together. But again, I wanted Justin Fields. So him going to Chicago in that trade was phenomenal, Smitty. I think that they made an awesome move right there, and I can't wait to see what he does. And I say to heck with Andy Dalton and his 1-year, $10 million QB1 contract. Let Justin Fields go right away into that team.
Yep. Yeah, he'll beat him out in training camp.
He will,
stronger arm, more mobile. They don't have a reason to sit him. Because if they did, they would have just waited to see where he fall back, or they would have took a guy later on in the draft. They moved up to get their quarterback for the future. That's what they're going to do.
Yep, I believe that too. What do you think, Chris? You think I think he beats him out in training camp, just like Smitty said.
So he probably will beat him out in training camp. Honestly, I think they're going to stick to Dalton being the QB1, just because that's what they told him. I know teams go back on what they tell players all the time, but they told Dalton he's going to be QB1, and you don't pay a quarterback all that money, because if they pay him all the money they're paying him for him to sit on the bench, they're going to have the most expensive backups in the NFL. So what they're going to, what I'm thinking they're going to do, they did break bad. They did.
That's
but what I think they're going to do is, in order to justify it, I think they're going to let him play a couple games, let him go out there and struggle, and then we're gonna bench you because you're not producing. and we're gonna bring in Justin Fields and let the rookie take over.
Or maybe
But I'm excited to see what Justin Fields does.
Maybe you get a Matt Flynn, Russell Wilson type of situation where Matt Flynn got that, it wasn't a major contract, 3 years, $26 million, if memory comes to serve, but Russell Wilson beat his ass out in training camp and came in and did his thing right away. So it could happen. It could happen.
It could.
So I can't wait to see him. I mean, we know Trevor Lawrence going 1 to the Jaguars. I'm sure they're going to improve. I mean, how do you not improve from 1-15 unless they really lose every game? So, I'm looking forward to seeing what he does with his long hair, sunshine over there. That'll be interesting. But Zack Wilson, I think, is the only quarterback on the Jets right now. So that boy's got to stay healthy and do his thing, Chris.
Yeah, he does. So as we got closer to the draft, I actually fell more in love with Zack Wilson and what he could do. A lot of people was like, oh, well, he went to BYU. BYU struggled in some games, blah, blah, blah. But when you watch the film, and I love watching college football. That's my thing. I like it more than NFL. I mean, I love the NFL, but college football is my thing. I love the tradition. I love all of that. But watching some of the film with Zack Wilson, when you look at that, his arm talent is amazing. And not only that, but when you look at his receivers, they couldn't get open. And he's putting the ball in places that only his receivers could get, but they didn't get a lot of separation. And that goes back to like when we were talking about Carson Wentz, where if you look at his receivers, they couldn't get open. They couldn't beat man-to-man coverage. Same with Zack Wilson. His receivers could not get open. I saw one throw. Zack Wilson rolled out to the right. They're like on the 50-yard line. He rolled out to the right. His receiver, it was like 2 streaks going down, 1 streak on one side, a streak on another side. He had the backside post too. And so the front side route was a streak. You're looking at that. That didn't come open. So he rolls to the right. The post wasn't open on the backside. And he sees his receiver streaking downfield on the backside. He threw it from one hash to the other downfield for a touchdown. So arm talent is ridiculous.
He's got talent. You're right.
Yeah. So I'm ready to see what he does. I'm ready to see what all these rookie quarterbacks do. But I like Zack Wilson. A lot of people won't say that. I like Zack Wilson's. I like what he brings to the table.
Me too. No, me too. And we got to remember, he's still a very young guy, and he's going to fill out. The boy will fill out. He will. He's going to turn into a man at some point, So he's going to get bigger, stronger, smarter as he goes along. So I'm down with that. I think he's going to be fine. The last one to go in the first round was Mack Jones. I predicted that he would fall to 15 to the Patriots. A lot of people had him trading with the Cowboys, but I guess they got their
I had him going to the 49ers.
Oh no, I knew he wasn't. Like, no. You don't make you do not trade, you don't give away all those assets for Mac freaking Jones, man. Hell no. I knew the whole time it wasn't happening. I knew it was Trey Lance and Justin Fields. So I'm not upset, but man, you give him 2 first rounders and a 3rd rounder for Mac Jones? What are you kidding me? I'm like, you can find any bench here in the league.
All I'm saying is he had the same career path as Joe Burrow, and Joe Burrow went number 1.
That's fair.
Everybody talks about all the talent that he had, and he has all this NFL talent on his team. But when you look at Joe Burrow when he came out, he had Jamar Chase. He had Justin Jefferson, who went, I think, 15th. Jamar Chase went in like the top 5, top 6, something like that.
6th, the Bengals.
He went like 4th to the Bengals, or whoever had that 4th pick, or no, Atlanta had the 4th pick, but wherever the Bengals were, wherever they was picking it. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. He had 2 first day receivers, just like Mack Jones. And Mack Jones, he balled out last year, just like Joe Burrow did his last season with LSU. And honestly, if you didn't have like a Justin Fields or a Trevor Lawrence or a Trey Lance, Mack Jones probably would have been the number 1 quarterback coming out this year.
You see, now that's the thing I wanted to say real quick. Smitty, I want to get your opinion on this real quick. That's the point. That's why Joe Burrow went first last year, because they didn't have these athletic quarterbacks out last season.
Yep.
Right.
And Joe Burrow turned out to be good. Like Joe Burrow is a hell of a quarterback.
He is.
And I think Mack Jones is going to be the same way. He doesn't have the strong arm, but one thing he does do, he throws with accuracy. He puts the ball on the money. He anticipates, kind of like Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. You anticipate your receivers getting open, and you put it where they're supposed to be. That's what Mack Jones does.
Right. He's a good fit for the Patriots.
I actually think Mack Jones is another version of Matt Ryan when he came out of Boston College. Same type skill set, same size. So if he blossoms in New England, I would not be surprised. They put all the weapons around him, and Cam Newton, he's up in age. So I expect Mac Jones to take over probably like what you said, probably like week 6, somewhere in there, because if Bill Belichick is still in it at that point, he's going to go with the rookie, somebody that can, get the ball where they need to and be accurate. And I don't think that's Cam Newton anymore.
Yeah,
I want to ask you guys a question. We're going to get into nicknames, guys. We're going to have a lot of fun here. If you're listening live, we appreciate it. We love it. And if you hear it recorded later, even better. The nicknames we're going to get into, like brand new ones for the NFL for certain players that don't have one or may have one and we don't like it too much. So we're going to fool around and have a little fun with that as we bring in also at the same time, must bring in Mr. Mike Patton is in the house right now joining us. Now we got the 4 squad happening. What's up, baby? I'm glad you made it.
Yeah, I'm glad I did too. Thank God it's Friday.
Well, you came in good time, man. We were just going through the rookie quarterbacks. Now, we're talking about Mac Jones before we get into the nicknames over here. Now, Chris, you were just saying, or Smitty, which one? I remember one of you guys was just saying that maybe Mac Jones goes in week 6, but here's the problem with that. And let's go round table over here. Cam Newton is going to be running a totally different offense than Mac Jones is going to be running. So I don't know if Josh McDaniels is going to have 2 separate playbooks or how this is going to work out, or if, Cam is going to go until he can't play anymore, if God forbid he does get hurt, and then you got to force Mac Jones in, or maybe Mac sits the entire season. Let's go round table. Mikey, you just got in here, bro, so why don't you start it off?
Well, I definitely don't think Mac Jones starts in week 6, but I will say the thing is with McDaniels is he had 2 different playbooks when he was in Denver as well. You had Kyle Orton with the playbook, and then all of a sudden when Tebow came in, it was a totally different looking offense. So it is quite plausible, that he could come up with 2 different playbooks with Cam Newton and Mac Jones. But do I think Mac Jones is ready to start by week 6? No, because he's the right-handed Matt Leinart. Yes, I said it.
He is not the right-handed Matt Leinart.
He is to me. He is to me. So
Matt Leinart was awful, man.
What's that?
Matt Leinart was awful. Ain't nobody be that bad but Tony Eason.
Well, Matt Leinart was outstanding when he was in college, though. You couldn't tell anybody that he wasn't going to be great. And a lot of people are saying some of the same things about Mac Jones. And we're kind of trending and rolling that way.
Maybe so. Maybe so. What do you think about it, Smitty?
But I think the thing with Mac Jones in New England, I think Bill Belichick probably be the difference with that, because if he worked with Tom Brady and he was a 6th-round pick and Mac Jones was a 1st-round pick, similar skill set, accurate, like Chris said earlier, accurate, can read defense. I think he's a perfect fit for them. But when we come to Matt Leinart, I couldn't put nobody with Matt Leinart but Tony Eason, and that's way back in the day. But I actually think Matt Jones in the perfect position. I think he will succeed in New England. But with the 2 playbooks, I agree. Josh McDaniels, he already has that worked out. They've been planning for that the whole offseason.
Yeah, that was a good call. I mean, Tim Tebow, let's be honest, didn't run it to perfection, obviously, but you're right. He had the playbook in there, so that does make sense, Chris.
Right. So with the 2 playbook thing, I mean, I'm pretty sure like when they got Cam Newton, all he did was expand his playbook, and really at this point, all you got to do now is condense it back to what he had when Tom Brady was there. So I don't think he really has to do much if Mac Jones ends up starting this year. If Cam Newton goes down, because even with Stidham ain't the same athlete as Cam Newton, so they're gonna go in there and call different plays for each of them. So I think McDaniel would be able to balance that.
All right. So you guys make a lot of sense. And Mike, that was a great point right off the bat right there, that he has dealt with this before. It might have been 15 years ago, but he dealt with it before. Well, maybe not that long ago. Tim Tebow trying to get back in the NFL.
Hey, I will say this. If y'all haven't listened to Bomani Jones and Dominic Foxworth today, that is straight up comedy. Listening to him talk about Tim Tebow for like 45 minutes.
Bomani cracks me up, man. He is so smart, so witty. He's funny as hell. He's good. He is good. Oh man, Smitty, we're gonna try to get witty. I know you're stepping away for a second, but we're gonna have fun over here right now. We're gonna go with nicknames. We're gonna give nicknames to players who may not have them again, or who do have them, and we think it should be in a different way. But let me give you guys a few that I had. They came up with like the 50 best nicknames. I'm not gonna go through all 50, obviously, and go crazy over here. But we got like Prime Time, Chad Ochocinco, Refrigerator Perry. We got also Deep Beast Mode. We got, let's see, Big Ben. Okay, Broadway Joe. Sweetness, obviously a perfect one right there. Mean Joe Green. Let's see what else. What other good ones we got? Curtis, my favorite. Martin, that sounds like a Chris Berman sort of thing. Prime Time, like we talked about. The Playmaker, Michael Irvin. That's a great one. Night Train Lane was excellent. The Freak, Javon Curse. Remember that one, fellas?
Yep.
Woo.
Definitely remember that one here in Nashville.
Oh, yeah.
One of my favorite ones, and you haven't said it yet, and I don't know if it's on there. But the Minister of Defense.
I'm going to go down.
That was one of my favorites.
Roger the Dodger? Is it Roger the Dodger? You said military, so I was wondering if it was that. He was in the Navy, Roger Staubach. What else we got over here? A couple other good ones. The Bus. Oh, for sure, the Bus. We got, I don't know why Mr. Rogers is Aaron Rodgers, but we're going to change that. I'm telling you right now, we're going to change that one. Megatron. That's a serious one. The Nigerian Nightmare. Woo! Purple Jesus, Adrian Peterson. I don't know how we got that name, but I love it. I'll take it. That one's crazy right there. But Revis Island, that was a great name for a long time. Tom Terrific is probably the worst nickname ever, so we'll stop there. Let's see if there's one more. Maybe I didn't say yours, man. T.O. No, I didn't see yours. Which one were you talking about?
I said Reggie White, the Minister of Defense.
Oh, that's
one of my
favorites. Yes. I might have skipped over that one right there. That is a great one. God bless his soul. Let him rest in peace. Absolutely. So let's try to get to a few of these. I wrote a whole bunch of names down. I don't know if you guys did, but let's have some fun. I looked up Lamar Jackson's nickname, and it said Smiley Face, and I'm like, what? So let's just stop that crap, all right? It should be Action Jackson. There's no reason why it shouldn't be Action Jackson. I mean, bottom line, right? Carl Weathers, let's get real, dude. I mean, I was like 5 years old when I went to go see that movie. Action Jackson's in my mind, so I think we got to go there with him. Smiley Face. I mean, all right, you got a good smile. That's great, but that's not going to talk about your football acumen. Patrick Mahomes deserves the nickname. He does, and he doesn't have one yet. I mean, my homies, that's his clan right there, if you want to call it that. But Patrick Mahomes, the things that came to mind for him was either like St. Patrick or Inspector Gadget, because he can do absolutely everything. I don't know.
I got one.
Give me one.
Hey, I like Inspector Gadget.
I got one. The prototype.
The prototype.
Ooh, that's pretty good too.
I like that one too. I
call Patrick Mahomes the rifleman because he can gun the football.
Right. Call him the cannon, man. Freaking whatever, no doubt.
Oh no, it gotta have something to do with a cannon. When I saw him get tackled and be parallel to the ground and throw the ball 30 yards downfield on the money,
that was crazy.
It gotta have something to do with a cannon, gunslinger, something. Because
I guarantee you he practiced it.
He probably did.
Yeah, probably. And you don't even have to. We could do it. That's why I go with Inspector Gadget. He's got every quirk you can imagine. Throwing it left-handed, underhanded, blindfolded, whatever it is. It don't matter.
Yeah.
I'm going with some of the top players over here who don't have one. So I'm looking at George Kittle. I mean, King George is a little bit too easy. Maybe Curious George. I don't know, because he's like a big
crazy
guy out there.
Crazy K.
Oh, Crazy K. You're on point right now, bro. That's not bad. Little Crazy
watch
K.
Him play.
Right?
You watch him play and watch his expressions. You definitely would get a Crazy K out of that one.
Yeah, he's new, bro. And I'm happy to have him. God bless that man. He is amazing. Best tight end in the league. Sorry, Travis Kelce. You're out, partner. All right. Derrick Henry. He's got King Henry, but I'm thinking about the Titans, right? Like, the Olympians, the Titans, and there's Cronus. He was like the king father of all the Titans. I know it's not a well-known name, but I'm going with Cronus for Derrick Henry because he's the King Titan. I know not a lot of people know that, but I can't think of anything other than what he's got already. But he deserves one.
I got one for that.
I got one. The boogeyman.
Oh, that's right. Yo, he will haunt your nightmares, man. You're right. Freddy Krueger style.
He's especially the boogeyman for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Every time
he
might be the boogeyman for Josh Norman too.
I go the Winter Soldier because that right arm.
That right arm is nasty.
Play on time in the cold weather. Can't stop it.
Hey, I like that one. I like Winter Soldier.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
I love it. All right. Now, Julio Jones. We've been talking about him before, but he doesn't even have a nickname. And I'm going to give you guys his nickname right now. Listen to how it goes. Check it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, check this out. A spectacular event in Wyman. It might seem insane, but the Big Daddy Kane is rocking the house with Paul Simon. And my man Bismarck down in the park, even Spud West plays a cool part. In the video, me and Julio down by the schoolyard.
All right. That's why I am giving Julio Jones the nickname the schoolyard. Julio down by the schoolyard. And if you think about the playing field, he owns the field, man. He owns that. So he is the schoolyard, bro. He took people to school in 3rd grade, 4th grade, 12th grade, every damn grade. I'm giving him the schoolyard, but he deserves a nickname, man. He's too good to not have one.
Yeah,
I know you know that.
People in Atlanta call him the Jet, so I'm gonna just stick with that.
With the Jet?
Why the Jet? Where'd that come from?
Jet Jones, because after he made that catch over Luke Kuechly, that's how he got that name.
Okay, I dig it. I'm with it. Let's get another one. All right, I got a really, really corny one for you guys, so you can go ahead and laugh at me all you want. This is like the corny white joke over here. Aaron Rodgers, the quarterback. I got nothing else but that. He needs something. Ron? That's like so annoying. I can't even say it. I want to throw up in my mouth.
I can't think of anything, but it's got to be something involving his petty. It's got to be something involving his petty because his petty is at an all-time high.
He's the king of petty. He's the king of petty.
I was going to say Petty LaBelle, but we can't call him Petty LaBelle.
Petty Rogers.
Don't do it like that. Petty Rogers. Hey, that might work out.
Petty Rogers. I mean, he's petty as hell. He's what you draft the quarterback in the top 10. All right, I'm gonna go have an MVP season. I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna have an MVP season.
Go ahead. All right. And then I'll go to Jeopardy, and you guys can follow me afterwards. How great I am over the radio and everything, and you love me. And Aaron Rodgers like, yep, finger time over here, pal. Screw you guys. All right, let me go to my boy, Nick Bosa. This guy's got to have a nickname. This one's kind of corny too, but I'm trying to work in his name. Nick Bosa Constrictor. Like a boa constrictor. None of you guys like it? All right. You hate it. I dig it. All right.
I can't really think of nothing for him either. He does need a nickname.
He's a monster, dude. Maybe call him the Incredible Freaking Hulk. And actually freaking leave that in there. Incredible Freaking Hulk. Do that whole thing. Something. But that boy needs a nickname. Khalil Mack has the nickname Bombshell Mack, which is interesting. But why not call him Khalil Mack Truck?
Who has
Obliterator? There's one.
Bro, who, Bosa?
I was thinking the one for Bosa, but yeah, I hadn't made it to Mack yet.
Who has
Khalil
like
Mack,
Mack
Truck fits him.
Yeah, Khalil Mack Truck fix him. That does.
Yeah.
Mack Truck.
Yeah. Nobody.
One for Bosa. Bosa Constrictor. I know it's corny as hell, but I can't think of nothing else for him except for coming out with like some monster name. I don't know. It's a tough one. Him and his brother.
His name kind of tough.
Yeah.
It's hard to do anything with his name unless we call him like. I ain't calling him Slick Nick. That ain't happening. I don't know. I ain't doing it.
Slick Rick would be upset and he'd be calling him out.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly. I'm about to play some of that later, man. I love that stuff, that old school hip hop. Ezekiel Elliott. Follow me on Ezekiel Elliott for a minute here. I'm calling him the Chariot And it's because if you know the Bible, Ezekiel's chariot, and Ezekiel is a biblical name. And this boy, the man's a chariot. I mean, he takes freaking horses down. He plows down. He didn't do it last year because he gave up on the season. But Ezekiel Elliott is the real deal. He's a tough dude. So that's why I went a little biblical on him right there. But he should get a nickname also. It's just Zeke. That's it.
No, Easy E. There we go.
Easy E. Easy E. Yo, Mike, you're too good at this, man. You're too good at this stuff, bro. Too good.
Easy E, that fits. Yeah.
That does
look
fit.
easy.
You know what though? I don't know how easy he is, man. He's like more like tough E, like really, like he's like pushing bouncers and people and gates and stuff like that.
He's been taking it easy the last 2 years.
You think about it. You remember him jumping in the Marshall Downs bucket. You can call him the chariot case.
There you go. There you go.
This is why these guys are on here right now. The brains are working, baby. I freaking love it. I can't get one for Dalvin Cook. You know, I don't want to go corny with him and use the word Cook in there. That's too easy. I can't think of it for him, but he deserves one too.
The recipe.
Okay.
The recipe's good. The recipe.
He is the recipe for them as well. So that's a good one.
The recipe's pretty good. That's interesting. I haven't thought about that. Yeah, I mean, he is paying Kirk Cousins all that money while Dalvin Cook takes all the load, man. Forget about it. All right, Jamal Adams.
You got another one?
You call him Chef Cook too. You can call him that too.
Chef Cook.
Chef Cook.
But I think that
you got Chef Curry. You got Chef Cook too, because they both starring up. There you go.
These common last names sometimes. I wrote a bunch more. All right, Jamal Adams. He plays safety, obviously, as we know. So I'm calling him the Department of Safety or Safety Defense or something like that. But he's one of the best safeties in the NFL. That guy's got to have a nickname.
I would call him the Green Goblin.
I stick with the president, the Prez, what he calls himself. President.
Yeah, he does call himself Prez. I would call him the Green Goblin. I mean, because he's nasty. He's nasty. Like he's legit. And he goes from one green team to another blue and green team. But
yeah, some kind of color. I don't know what the hell it is. It changes color on my TV screen every time I watch the Seahawks.
It makes your eyes hurt too, right?
Yeah, man. I got my eyes from that. I'm wearing sunglasses when I watch the Seahawks play, even though it's cloudy there all the time. I know, Chris, you know about that. A lot of rain action going on. It's all good.
It's not that much rain though. It's really not. It's not what people think.
It's not that bad. All right, look. As long as no vampires and wolves are coming out of there, all right, then we're straight.
The rain is cool. I'm from Florida, so we get that 10 minutes worth of pour down. Here it just drizzles.
Hey,
like it just drizzle all day here.
I've been living in Florida now for the last 7 years now. It'll be raining across the street. Like you'll be literally across the street watching it rain, and you'll be getting a tan on the other side. I swear to God, it's like that. It's ridiculous.
Exactly hey, while we on the Seahawks, I got one for you though.
All right,
DK Metcalf. So, everybody wanted to compare him to Megatron, to Calvin Johnson. They want to say Megatron 2.0 or whatever, or Optimus Prime. My thing is, if Megatron was a villain, you got to stick with that. So instead of calling him Optimus Prime, I call him Thanos. And you got Megatron, who he is what he is. Then you have Thanos and DK Metcalf, whole different universe, but he's snapping the defenders away, because he gonna burn whoever's in front of him. So I mean,
man, that dude runs like a gazelle, man.
Yeah,
have y'all ever seen a gazelle run?
It's disgusting.
Man,
so yeah, I got Thanos. I made a whole graphic for it, and everything. Like I think last season.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, now you got me thinking about Mike. What'd you say?
Question for you, Chris. Now he has the Infinity Stones. Who would be all the Infinity Stones or the DBs that he's toasted?
Oh,
let's see. Stephon Gilmore. He ain't got Ramsey. Ramsey lock him down.
Look, Nashville, Tennessee is representing right there. He's not gonna get toasted. Yes, Jalen Ramsey is from Nashville. Yes.
Hey, I would say Ramsey be locking him down. It's crazy. He be locking him.
He went to my high school too. And he went to some high school with me. Yeah.
Patrick Peterson had his number 2 for a minute.
Yeah. But who else did he? Well, he killed Patrick Peterson last year, I believe.
Yeah, he's going down. He's on Minnesota. He's on his legs.
So he might have 2 of the Infinity Stones right now.
I was thinking of the Incredible
I don't remember
Hulk.
what he did to Tre'Davious White because didn't they play the Bills last year? So I don't remember what he did to Tre'Davious White. But he got 2 of them right now, I say.
Okay. All
right. Tre'Davious White. Yes. You just called Tre'Davious White trade day. That fit him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's perfect.
That's fits him perfect.
Like I was thinking of one for DK Metcalf and trying to get into the Marvel universe over here and calling him the Incredible Hulk. Not the Incredible Hulk, but the Incredible Hawk. I don't know. It kind of fits a little bit. I'm gonna go with
the way he hocked down Buda Baker. It fit.
Right, man. I'm telling you. All right, now here's my next one. I got another pun on words for you guys. And this player, I need him to get back and start playing. And he's so damn good. It's a shame he's been hurt the last 2 years. And that's Saquon Barkley. And in Brooklyn, they got the Barclays Center. So I'm calling them the Saquon Barkley Center. Like he owns New York. Let him own New York. He owns Brooklyn. He owns New Jersey. He owns upstate. He owns the whole damn thing. But that's another guy who should get a nickname if he can stay healthy and get back because he's so good. He is so good. Mike, you know how good that dude is, man. I mean, it's a shame it's what's happened to him.
I'm sitting there trying to think of a nickname for him, but it's hard to get a nickname when you in a tub. So
yeah.
if you in New York City, I had to call him like the Gotham Knight or something like that.
He's in the tub all the time. Maybe Ice Barkley. I don't know, man.
He always Saquon Barkley always reminded me of Barry Sanders with his footwork. So I always called him Baby Barry.
Not bad. But remember that one time, what they called Michael Horton Baby Jordan? Who was that they called Baby Jordan that one time? And it was Harold Miner.
Yeah, Harold Miner. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Miami Heat. Yes.
Yeah, how pissed off I was when they did that, man. Baby Jordan, my ass. Get the hell out of here. Like, what game are we watching here, fellas? Come on now. Shoot. All right. Let's see. Who else we got? Oh, Damien would kill me if I went with this one. Oh, Damien's going to kill me. The real deal. My partner over here on 3rd and 3, Alvin Kamara. I'm calling him the chipmunk because he just be snatching up every damn ball and running all over the place, and nobody can catch his ass. And he keeps hiding that ball, and you can't get it from him. But he deserves it.
I got one for him. The Magician. Because if you look at the way he plays, and he makes some incredible runs with incredible balance that any other normal back would fall down on. So he magically makes plays, stays on his feet, and scores touchdowns.
So
incredible runs.
So we like this Magic Johnson right now.
No, I'm not going there. But if you see, I will say this though: if you haven't watched Alvin Kamara's training sessions that he does with balancing and things like that, it's incredible. It's some of the best stuff I've ever seen.
Yep.
I played against Alvin Kamara in college.
Oh, for real?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, he was at Hutch Junior College when I was because I went to college in Kansas, and so he was at Hutch Junior College, and we did like a little. So I went to a junior college in Cali, then transferred to Kansas, and so when we went to go play them, all my teammates were scared because they ain't never played JUCO guys before, and I'm just telling them like, really, all JUCO guys are bounce backs of dudes that couldn't get in D1 because of their grades, so they're going to be legit. Like, I'm just letting y'all know they're going to be legit. I played against them; they're going to be nice. So we went and played Hutch for like a little warm-up game or whatever. It was more of a warm-up game for them, not for us. But because I went to an NAIA school. And when I tell you he just like completely destroyed our defense, it wasn't even funny. Like,
wow. So you know what was happening before it even happened, man.
Yeah, I already told him because I went to junior college. I've experienced it. I've seen these dudes firsthand. So like I already knew. And the fact that he came from Alabama and then came to Hutch, I already knew he was going to be legit. Nobody wanted to listen. And he went out there and he put on the show. That's all I can say.
Same thing with Cam Newton, man. Same thing with Cam Newton.
Yep, same thing with Cam.
With the Belen College.
Crazy. When you stand out like that, it's amazing. That's why I always wonder why Reggie Bush didn't have more success in the NFL. I thought he would have been a better player when they
if they would have used him like they used Alvin Kamara, he would have been.
Well, I tell you why I think he wasn't as solid a back. The difference between him and Alvin Kamara hits holes and runs a little bit more with power than what Reggie Bush did.
Yeah.
Reggie Bush was more the flash guy, never stuck his foot in the ground and got up in there. So I think that's why Reggie didn't succeed.
But also, I think, and I can say also, Reggie was really good in college. But when you get to NFL, college game is very diluted. So when you get to NFL, it's the best of the best. So what he did in college ain't gonna work when you get to the league, as we saw with what was it, Sheldon Brown or whoever who hit him when he went on that little out route or the little swing route, and he came down and smacked him. Yeah. So it's a different game.
It sure is, man. That's what they all say. The first thing, what's the big difference between college and the pros? The speed. That's the number one thing they say. First thing they say all the time.
Hey, Jason, before you go to the next one, one thing I can say is that, the biggest contribution he made for the San Francisco 49ers is helping getting rid of the stadium in St. Louis because he sued the stadium because he slid and fell. Remember that? Yes, that is his biggest contribution to the 49ers right there.
Sorry, St. Louis. I'll bet. Stick with the Cardinals, I guess. That's all you got right now. Ain't nothing else. Damn. All right, let's see if we got a few more over here. All right, I got Amari Cooper. I think that he should get some sort of nickname. I mean, he's good enough, and it could be something where it could be even like kind of doofy. I don't know, like Amari Exchange Cooper, something like crazy stupid like that. I don't know. I can't think.
The only thing with Amari, I mean, honestly, he could be called Sweet Feet 2.0. Because if you look at Amari's feet or footwork when he's running routes, disgusting. So
he's off the line, he's sick. You're right.
Yeah. So it has to be something dealing with his feet.
Well, I don't even know if I can give Amari one. I can give. He's so inconsistent, man.
He is. That's why I said I had to do something with his feet, not his hands.
Yeah. I honestly started to give him the same nickname I give Andrew Wiggins in basketball. That's Mr. Inconsistent. I started to give him that one, but
it is weird. Like he'll come up, he'll have 3 touchdowns in one game, and you won't see him for another month. It's true. Yep. That's a good point. Yeah, maybe we should bypass him. That's another one. Shoot. OBJ. I don't even know if I can go there right now. I'm gonna call Larry Fitzgerald. It's got to be like something like special and ancient, like Moses or something like that. He needs a name. How does Larry Fitzgerald not have a nickname?
Father
Time. He deserves better than that, though, man.
Call him the Baker man here because his hands. He got the best hands I ever seen.
It should be something. So, Larry Fitzgerald. What can I do with the name of his hand? With some of his hands.
Baker man is good.
That's not bad.
Yeah, Baker
He's
man
so
is
good. I'm surprised he was to me. He was like
that do statues with like the stencils and stuff. I don't know what they call it.
Oh, I'm not sure what they're called. To me, he always was like the wide receiver to Barry Sanders' running back. The quiet guy, doesn't cause any problems, nothing like that. Just goes about his
assassin. How about that? Quiet assassin.
Oh, there it is. Bam. But yeah, we're giving you guys the nicknames out there, right? So I know that ESPN and freaking all these other sports and networks are going to be talking about this tomorrow. So at least we got it recorded. It'll be on tape. We know where it came first. All right, let me see. I know I got a couple more over here. I'd like to give Josh Jacobs a nickname. Maybe it's too early for him.
Yeah,
he reminds me of the Martin kid used to play for Tampa Bay.
Oh, Doug Martin.
Muscle Hamster.
Muscle Hamster. Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Muscle Hamster. Talk about nicknames. Yeah, he hated that too. He did not like that nickname at all. I don't know why. Yeah, why would you? I mean, you're calling somebody a hamster. I don't care how big your freaking muscle is. You call a hamster. Shit. Oh man. Let's see. Zach Ertz. That's too easy. See, I was thinking of calling like Kyler Murray like Mighty Mouse. I know that's kind of like a diss, but it's not. Like I mean, he's like everything in a small package, and like boom, like he's.
That's exactly what I nicknamed him last year.
Really? Is that right? Boom.
Mighty
There
Mouse.
we are.
Yep.
There we are. All right, cool. And we mean no offense to that. We mean that in the best way. No question.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Speaking of the guy that DK Metcalf ran down, Buda Baker, he's got to be Buda Bong Baker, at least. You know, I mean, that whole name fits. He's already Buda, smoking Buda. He's baking it. So just put the bong in the middle, and he's all set. Buda Bong Baker. That's all he needs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Look, he was running fast, and then his ass slowed down. DK Metcalf because he's smoking all that shit. That's what happened. Otherwise, he would have gotten man. You know I'm playing.
Don't go drug test him, NFL. Don't go drug test him.
No, please don't do that. Please don't.
It's legal in Arizona anyway, so leave him alone.
Man, I don't know. That's pretty much, those are most of the nicknames I got. I don't know if you guys thought of any other ones as we were going along, but I look at some of the top players. I'm like, these guys deserve nicknames. And Mikey, you came out with a few ones like right at the beginning, man. That was good stuff.
I'm trying to think of but my favorite nickname right now is for San Francisco 49ers player right now. That would be
Debo.
Yeah.
Debo. Yes, sir. Yes,
sir. I just want him to score a touchdown and then get in the end zone. Yeah. Who wants some of Debo? Who wants some of Debo? I want to just do that. One time.
You want some too, old man?
No.
I would love it. Somebody needs to put a bicycle in the end zone when he scores, and he's, that's my bike, and see his ass right off, man. I would love it. Whose bike is this? Oh, man. Yo, we're having fun over here. We're calling it Power 32 Podcast because we got a power group, 32 NFL teams, and it is a podcast. So nicknames are in there. We know that you guys are going to steal it. That's fine. But let's talk about some other players and who we would actually take first that's playing in the league right now. So like DK Metcalf, we just talked about him. I'm just going to go off the top of my head. Let's go around. Let's each think of one. I'm going to think of DK Metcalf. Would I rather have him right now at his young age where he's at, or would I rather have a guy like Michael Thomas? What do you think, Mikey?
No, I'm taking if I got to pick in that situation, I'm taking DK Metcalf. I'm not taking Michael Thomas because Michael Thomas, he disappeared when Drew Brees wasn't the quarterback.
That's right.
Yeah, I go Metcalf as well. He in Julio Jones category, so tough to stop. He's gonna be a great one.
That's the thing. You when you look at DK and then you look at Julio, you look at Calvin. Those are rare receivers. Right. I mean, there's another one, Chase Claypool for the Steelers. He's up in that category. He's 6'4", 6'5", ran a 4.4.
Right. These are like TO guys, like TO.
These are rare guys where big, fast. Julio has the best routes out of all of them, though. But I'm taking DK over Michael Thomas.
I hear that. When you guys got one, go around. We could just think of all.
I'll go with one wide receiver. I would take over DK.
Okay. That
would be Mr. Stephon Diggs.
I would too.
Stephon Diggs is, honestly, he had Adam Thielen the year previously, and people were like, hey, he's got Adam Thielen over there. He can still make some things happen, but he's got somebody taking attention away. Who did he have in Buffalo? Absolutely no one. Yet he has 100-plus catches, routinely beats coverage time after time after time. That means he has great speed, he has great routes, and he definitely does all the little things to make himself one of the best players in the NFL at the wide receiver position. So I'll take him. He may not have the ideal height, speed, size, but he does everything well, and he's going to help me win ball games. That's what matters most.
Yo, Twan, I agree with him, Twan. I agree with him.
I'd take DeAndre Hopkins as one of the best receivers in the league. He doesn't get credit. He can catch anything. He's playing with Larry Fitzgerald, so I'm sure he's learning more, but his hands are like glue. He won a whole season without dropping a whole entire season without dropping a pass. How many times do you actually hear people do that?
I know. That's great. I think if I had to take anybody number one over anyone, it'd probably be DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, there's not many people who could do what he did last year. When you're jumping between 3 different defenders and you're the one coming down with the ball, I mean, that's some sick stuff right there, man. Not many guys can do that sort of thing. But I do love Stephon Diggs. I love the fact that he can go from Kirk Cousins, be amazing, and then go to Josh Allen, be amazing right off the bat. And John Brown was hurt a lot of the year. Yeah, Cole Beasley helped him out a little bit, but Stephon Diggs he's the real deal. Thinking about something.
I actually think Emmanuel Sanders will help a lot more.
Very much.
Yeah, that's true. You know what guy we're leaving out, though? And we shouldn't leave him out. And people don't even categorize him as like any position. But Tyreek Hill is as good as anybody, man.
Yeah.
That's true.
I mean, he's got a nickname already. We ain't even got to play around with that. So
yeah, they feed him perfect. He's just that fast.
He's that fast. He's that good. He's got the moves. I mean, he really is amazing. And you know who's still amazing and who's not even on a team right now, and we know why? Antonio Brown is still an amazing freaking wide receiver.
He's actually in Tampa.
Yeah, he signed back with Tampa.
Wait, did they sign him?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't even know that. Oh, I didn't know they signed him. I thought they signed everybody but him.
No, he signed about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, wow. I totally missed that one. Thank you, guys. Now, shit, I learned something. Thank you. I appreciate that.
And now they got people don't give him credit for his speed, but he's actually one of the fastest receivers in his prime in the league. So when you talk about speed, he's Tyreek Hill mixed with Stephon Diggs with the deep pass. He's just all wrapped into one.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously. No question. That's a great call, too. Trying to think of a couple other ones off the top of my head. I mean, other than tight ends, I don't want to put them in the category, but
AJ Brown is another one.
AJ Brown is getting up there.
Right here in Tennessee.
Yeah. AJ Brown is getting up there.
The thing it's crazy is a lot of people talk about him and say he doesn't do this and he's playing in a run first offense and all those type of things, but he takes the little bit of routes that he runs and he runs them to perfection.
Yes, he does.
So and people say he can't go deep too, but he can. He just does what's asked of him.
He's like
deep route and those type of things.
He'll give you 4 catches for $120 and a touchdown. That's the type of guy that he is. And he
looks like a running back.
That's all he is. He's a football player.
He don't look right.
About 5'11", 6 feet, but he's built rock solid.
He don't look right in number 11. He needs like an 80 number, I think, because he's that big or something like that. And that's another thing. They're letting everybody wear whatever damn number they want. So you're going to see quarterbacks wearing like number 96 or something like that this year.
I can't wait for it. I'm happy for it.
Julio Jones is an idol. That's why he wears 11.
That's why he wears 11?
Yeah.
Because of Julio? I mean, it makes plenty of freaking sense to me. What are I got to be leaving somebody out right now I'm not thinking of off the top of my head. Nobody no offense, Chris, but I don't think anybody in Indy right now, T.Y. Hilton's not, he's aging. Yeah. Pittsburgh, we talked about how Claypool's got all that talent.
Yeah, you can't forget about Keenan Allen. And,
He's underrated.
He really is
underrated.
Another guy out in LA, the LA Rams. I mean, they're a group of wide receivers. They're very underrated too to me.
Yeah,
they were playing with Jared Goff the entire time, and they still put up numbers.
Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, all of them boys, they hella underrated. Yeah,
it's Super Bowl a bust for them boys over there in Ramstown.
And the funny part about the Rams, guess who called the Green Bay Packers in inquiring about Aaron Rodgers?
Stop.
But wasn't it before the
Stafford
trade?
They just got Stafford, and they tried to call and get Rodgers.
Oh, I thought it was before the Stafford trade. They was calling to try to get him.
No, they called and they already had him. I was like,
hey,
how
if you could
do that?
If you could get A-Rod, why not?
Oh my God, man! I don't believe it.
The Rams, they got the monopoly just like that gold digging shit.
Hey, if you could get A-Rod, shoot, we'll ship you Matt Stafford and whatever else you want. Give us Aaron Rodgers.
Right. For real, man. I'm still trying to get him. I'm hoping that 49ers are going to still pick him up somehow.
Dude, I said the Colts could send Carson Wentz back to the NFC. The coach could send Carson Wentz back to the NFC for Aaron Rodgers. Bring him over.
For real? Right? No, I mean, there's maybe 3 teams that would say no in the entire league to something like that. I actually predicted last year. We always make like big bold predictions before the season. I said this is going to be it for Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, but I'm starting to think. I don't want to get into it right now because we're in other stuff, but I'm starting to think that he might end up staying there. But I don't know. It's starting to look like that to you guys. Chris, you shaking your head.
Yeah, unless they make a move after June. Unless they make a move then.
Yeah, the only way he gets traded if they get a quarterback in return.
Right.
They don't
and
have
that's
a
the same
quarterback
thing with
on the roster.
Julio. They have to move Julio after like June 6th or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's the same with Aaron Rodgers, where it's the cap space, the cap penalty is less if you move him after June. So I think
June 2nd, after June 1st, they can trade him wherever they want.
Yeah, and I think if he doesn't get traded by then we're not going to see him get traded. He's going to be with Green Bay.
I mean, how much more do you need to disrespect Aaron Rodgers by signing Blake Bortles on the team, man? I mean, you just keep throwing disrespect this guy's way left and right. It's like you're just telling him you hate him without even saying a word. It's unbelievable. Yeah, it really is.
I think he ends up in Denver where Blake Bortles came from.
That's where he might end up there. I don't know if that's the best situation for him, though. I don't think that they're a Super Bowl team, really.
And check this out. Then you have not Blake Bortles, but you'll have Blake Bortles. Yeah, you have Blake Bortles, and you'll have Drew Lock as your quarterbacks and Jordan Love.
Yeah.
That'll be quite interesting in Green Bay.
With Denver, I think Denver's a lot further along than we think.
Well, defensively, yes, with Fangio.
Well, yeah, but you add Aaron Rodgers to that offense with Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, my homeboy Tim Patrick,
Noah Fant,
the tight end too.
Noah Fant. Me and Tim went to JUCO together. That's my guy. So yeah, like I think their offense is legit besides offensive line. But and who did they just draft? Dude from Javonte Williams, the running back. So you add Aaron Rodgers to that equation, that offense might resemble a little bit of Peyton Manning, first or second year with Denver, where he won for like 50-something touchdowns.
A lot of them are rookie contracts already too.
Yep.
Yeah, for 55 touchdowns right when he went to Denver. You know where I think Aaron Rodgers would be great, guys? I think that he would be perfect in Washington. I think that they would really give it a run over there in Washington. With that defense, they can run the ball. They have a pretty decent – Terry McLaurin can turn into the next Devontae Adams if Aaron Rodgers is throwing the ball to him. Yeah. I'm telling you right now. I don't think it's going to happen.
McLaurin is nice too. He's another underrated receiver.
And so is Curtis Samuel, who they just picked up. He's underrated too. That kid could play, man. You know?
I don't know. I see him more of as a gadget guy than an actual full-on wide receiver, to be honest.
Well, he's not number one. He ain't no number one. He's a 2.
No, yeah, he's not a number one. He reminds me of Debo.
Yeah, Antonio Gibson.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I don't think he's got the. I honestly, I like Debo more than I like Samuel.
I like Debo more too because what Debo does, like Debo will run through you like he's a running back.
Oh my God.
Him and Brandon Ayuk, they them boys will run through you like they running backs.
Yeah,
but
Debo's solid.
Debo's solid. So, but I'm just saying, like, as far as gadget goes, like they're both gadget guys where they'll do the wide receiver, reverses around, all of that. So I see them both like that.
It's amazing. I love Kyle Shanahan's offense so much, and that's why I thought they were going to go with Fields to get that extra dynamic, like what Colin Kaepernick used to do when he would just run all over the place, doing that pistol offense type of stuff, man. But again, I believe in them, and Trey Lance is the guy, and I believe things are going to work out. So not to get off course over here, how about a couple of running backs like Derrick Henry and Dalvin Cook? They're probably 1 and 2 right now, or am I missing? Do you think Alvin Kamara belongs in there? What do you think?
Honestly, I like Derrick Henry, and if you have a running style offense where he gets the ball a lot of times, I'm like, yeah, I'll give him that. But if I have to pick between any running back in the NFL, I'd take Alvin Kamara first because he does everything. He can line up anywhere. He can stay in there for all 3 downs. He can catch the ball. He can block. He can do anything you ask him to do. He can return kicks and punts too. So
because that's the thing. That's the thing with Derrick Henry, right? Where he's not a 3-down back, or so they say he's not a 3-down back. I mean, he's been working on his hands this offseason, the past 2 off seasons, really.
Yes.
But I'm taking Alvin Kamara
put,
too, just because
I put Nick Chubb up there too.
yeah,
Nick Chubb
Nick
is very
Chubb,
underrated.
Nick Chubb's up there too.
The only thing that keeps me away from Nick Chubb is he always gets injured somehow, some way.
That's what keeps me away from Dalvin Cook. Every year, it's something.
Yes, that's the thing with Dalvin Cook. And up until last year, Christian McCaffrey was, up in that category also. He's been CMC. I guess he's got his, own nickname. He's been great. I can't wait to see Saquon get back. Zeke has taken a step back. He's, his best days are behind him already. There's no question. He's been in the league now 5 years, so he's not going to be what he was. But, we got Najee Harris coming in, Travis Etienne. I wanted the Titans to get Etienne because, like we're talking about with Derrick Henry, how he's not really a 3-down back. Get Etienne in there on 3rd down and mix things up. I thought that would have been a great combination for them.
Yeah. Now, you're actually talking about a slap in the face to Derrick Henry at that point. Then he might get on his Aaron Rodgers at that point. I'm just being honest.
But you know what? Most of these guys want help now. They want to play, but they need a break, man. They need a break. That's why most guys go with two down backs. Two backs.
I'll say this though. They actually did draft a couple backs already to fill that 3rd down role. So that's where I would say they kind of be like, okay, you drafted a back to be a 3rd down back. Now you draft ETN. Okay, what's going on? What are y'all trying to tell me? Y'all gonna cut me? So let me just show out real quick so y'all can go ahead, so I can go ahead and tell y'all I'm the man.
Let me get y'all another $2,000. Matter of fact, I'll add 500 to that $2,000.
He just might this year with additional game.
Hey, he might. Dude, it's ridiculous.
Never know,
straight out of Florida. That's some Florida.
Hey, I went to college with his cousin, man.
I love how that all ties in. We all went to college with somebody. I love that stuff. I love it. It's great.
His cousin didn't look anything like him though. His cousin's like 5'9" and something else. And that's why I was like, wow, that's your cousin? That's what kind of threw me off. But hey, shout out to my boy, man. Hey, your cousin is killing it in the NFL.
No doubt. I've had a couple of QBs. What if I said right now Josh Allen or Russell Wilson? What do you think?
I'm taking Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Give me Russ.
Yeah, Josh Allen.
Give me Russ.
Josh Allen. I'm not a fan of Russ. I've never been a fan of Russ.
No?
No.
You live it up there.
Okay. They know it too.
Block is high.
They know it too. They know I'm not a fan of Russ. The thing with Russ is that he's always had a great running game. He's always had a great running game until the last, and a good defense until like the last couple years. Yep. And then in the last couple of years, you see what he's really about. So I mean, he'll go out there and ball for the first 6 games, and then first 8 games, my bad. He'll go out there and ball first 8 games. Last 8 games, you don't know where he's at. He holds on to the ball too long. He runs into sacks. He fumbles the ball when he gets sacked. I'm taking Josh Allen.
He was under a lot of pressure last year, Russell Wilson. I mean, I love him. He's one of my favorite.
But some of that pressure was self-inflicted. If you go back and look at the games,
if you're a running quarterback, your offensive line gonna give out sooner or later.
Yeah,
because they can block only for so long. It's just like a cornerback and a wide receiver. After 2-3 seconds, combat route all day.
Yep.
I'll give y'all that definitely. But one thing I will say is, you will never win over a quarterback. You will not make a quarterback happy when you start converting defensive linemen to offensive linemen. And when you start making basketball power forwards your offensive tackle. So there's a reason why he's running around. Those guys have never blocked anybody. Ever.
But even last year, his offensive line wasn't terrible. Yes, he got sacked 45 times or something like that. But like I said, you go back and watch the tape. A lot of it, he was running into sacks.
That was mainly because lack of running game.
Yeah, lack of running game. Because then you had Chris Carson hurt all the time. You had Carlos Hyde hurt all the time. All of them. So I mean, like I said, over the course of his career, he has been solid because he's had a great defense, great running game. And then lately, we've seen what he really is. Now, he's durable as hell. I'll give him that. He is durable as hell.
Yeah.
So if I could give that to Josh Allen, cool. But just when you watch Josh Allen, that arm and everything, like just everything he brings to the Buffalo Bills right now, I'll take him over Russ.
I tell you guys,
Josh Allen is the modern
Russ, man.
Josh Allen is the
I'm
modern
all
day
over
John
Russ, man.
Elway.
he is. It's so funny you say that. I compare. At first, I thought Big Ben was going to be the John Elway. Now it looks like Josh Allen's going to be the John Elway. I really like that call right there.
And
the
Josh
only
Allen's
reason
progression is ridiculous. His progression
Yeah.
through the years, you can see how
Yup.
much he's gotten better through the years. Russ, I mean, he's still the same quarterback throughout the years. He's just durable.
Yeah, our boy D, he predicted that he would take that quantum leap this year, and he definitely did. And he's been bragging about it for the last freaking 8 months. But yeah, he did make that call, man. And the only reason I would take him now is probably because he's younger, even though I still feel like Russell Wilson is just amazing. It's really hard for me. That's why I named those two. It's like hair thin for me with those guys. A couple other ones, let me think. What about Baker Mayfield or – let me get somebody – Baker Mayfield or Ryan Tannehill?
Oh, you know I'm taking in this one. I can't take Baker. I can't over Ryan Tannehill. No.
You can't do it. It's just like not even a question for you right now.
No, not even. Look, I'm not even the biggest Baker Mayfield fan to begin with, but I would have been fair if you put whoever you put against him. But I can't put Ryan Tannehill over him. Sure, people will say about the running game, which both of them have a great running game.
Right.
But when it comes down to it and having to make plays, I think Ryan Tannehill would definitely be able to make the plays more than Baker Mayfield. If you put it on his arm to win a game consistently, I don't think he can do so or make those incredible throws. I've seen Tannehill make those throws to win games, to make those plays to win games.
Tannehill can make the throws, but I've seen the past couple of years when you take Derrick Henry out the equation, it's good night for Tennessee.
It's a different story. But I'll tell you what, I watched him in Miami a lot. Ryan Tannehill, Antoine, was good in Miami. It's just that he didn't have a good team around him.
He always got hurt, too. Kept tearing his ACL.
Yeah, that's true.
I think he tore his ACL twice in Miami.
Nobody freaking blocked for him either. That's another thing. Let me think if I can think of one more set of quarterbacks and then maybe hit up a couple of running backs before we get to our next category and go eat, drink, whatever the hell we're going to do after this, whatever's going to happen. Who knows? I don't even know what time it is, but it doesn't matter because I'm having a freaking blast with you guys. All right, let me see some other quarterbacks that are maybe comparable right now that are on the young side. How about I go to – you know what? Let's go with Matthew Stafford because he's with the Rams right now. And let's go to Carson Wentz also. Let's debate that. And I know Chris, you're going to love this right now because I'm going to tell you guys straight up. I'm not a Carson Wentz fan necessarily, but I think that the whole thing went haywire last year, and I still believe that he did. Look, he's already shaking his head, Mike. I think of me. I think the whole thing went haywire last year in Philly, and I do believe that him back with Frank Reich, things are really going to happen, Chris. So I do like the Colts. I do like the Colts a lot. But what do you? Let's just go around. What do you guys think? Mike? You're shaking your head at me. What do you say?
No, I wasn't necessarily shaking my head. I was just like, okay. But as far as this one, I'll say Matthew Stafford on the strength that he actually stays on the field. The last couple of years, Wentz hasn't necessarily stayed on the field. And then when he was on the field, it's almost like he was fighting for his job the entire time. Where Stafford wasn't necessarily fighting for his job, but then again, he wasn't winning games either. So it's kind of like, So I'll go with Stafford on this one, but Wentz with Wright, that combination seemed to have worked in Philly. It could work in Indy, but of course it could be a dumpster fire as well. I'm pretty sure Chris is hoping it'll
never be a dumpster fire as long as he has that offensive line.
We'll see.
We'll Frank see what Wright, happens. When Frank Wright was the offensive coordinator in Philly under Peterson, that's when Wentz was in the MVP race. So he goes to Indy, gets that back. I think he gets it back in gear. But I'm waiting to see what Matthew Stafford do in that Sean McVay offense. That's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Somebody with a cannon arm that can get the ball down the field. That's going to be crazy.
Hey, one thing I want to point out too is that people talk about how Goff was getting the plays told to him where he needed to go during games. Imagine if you give that kind of tutelage to Matthew Stafford with a better arm and more talent.
But I don't think Matthew Stafford's going to have that issue though.
I think he's not going to have that issue, but I'm just saying, if you give him that type of tutelage.
Yeah, it'll be crazy. But I'm taking Wentz. And
I think the Rams have definitely catapulted themselves in the NFC as a result of that. And you know what, Chris? I think that if Carson Wentz plays again the way that he did his MVP season before he got hurt, yada yada, all this, and I know it's a lot to say and a lot to ask for, but
even 2019, if he plays like he did in 2019, I think we go far in the playoffs because 2019 he had a really good season. I mean, they were 9-7 or something like that, but if you go back and look at the numbers, Wentz had a really good season and probably one of his best seasons of his career.
I think people are living in the moment a little bit too much with Carson Wentz that he had such a bad season. And again, it was a horrible, horrible situation over there. They even fired their head coach. And I hope Jalen Hurts does really well. I'm certainly rooting for him, and I want things to go well over there. But Wentz needed out, and he went to the perfect place. To me, there's no question about it.
He has everything he needs in Indy, and so that's why I'm going with Wentz. I mean, Stafford does too. Stafford has everything he needs.
He just doesn't have a number one wide receiver.
Man, he got Michael Pittman. Michael Pittman about to light everybody up next year. Watch. Michael Pittman is lighting everybody up next year. Watch.
But you know what the thing is about Indy, though? They're going to be a running team. Jonathan Taylor is
nasty.
Yes, he is. People don't realize how he came along in the last 6, 7, 8 games last year.
He's a bell cow, and he can catch.
Yes, he can. He's a beast. They're gonna be a running team. They're gonna do play action, and they don't have to throw the ball far down the field. Things are gonna work out. Frank Reich knows what he's doing, so I see a lot of good things happening for that team. And I know we're gonna get to power rankings in a second before we close this bad boy out. But thinking of a couple of defenses, as we're talking about the Rams, they have a top-notch defense in the league. Put them against the Bucs and the Bears. Twan, why don't you go first? We got Rams, Bucs, Bears. Where do you go with those three?
I go Tampa Bay because I see what they did in the playoffs last year. All right. They carried that team, not Tom Brady. You look at the young stars that they have on defense with Devin White, Murphy Bunting, even though he got burnt a lot. Winfield, who was probably steal of the draft last year. I got to go Tampa, man. I think they only get better this year.
Mm-hmm. Tampa's hella young on defense. When you look at their secondary, and they're all under like 25. Their whole secondary is under like 25 years old.
Yep.
The Rams, I mean, you got Aaron Donald. It's not much you can really say about Aaron Donald. Just he's a freak. But I would count out the Bears just because the Bears, they've pretty much wasted that defense and they've let go of a lot of key pieces. So I probably have to go Tampa Bay too, just because of their young age. They're only old up front along the defensive line, but everything else is young.
What about you, Mike?
I'll go Tampa Bay as well. Tampa Bay, definitely a young defense, definitely still growing as a defense. All the pieces are back this year. So that makes them number one for me. The Rams, I put them at number 2 because they lost 2 key pieces to the Cleveland Browns in their secondary. You do have Jalen Ramsey. Yep. You do have Jalen Ramsey. You do have Aaron Donald, but you're missing those 2 other key pieces that make things happen. And as far as the Bears, yes, they have definitely wasted that defense, but that defense wasn't the same defense last year either. A side note to the Bears too, if Justin Fields ends up starting, they probably got $16 million in quarterbacks sitting on the bench in Nick Foles and Andy Dalton. Yeah.
And I think it'd be well worth it too because he's better than both of them combined already, in my opinion. I mean, for real, we were talking about that, just thinking about Justin Fields just beating everybody out in camp because he's that much better. I was talking real quick. I was talking about it before. I wanted the 49ers to draft Fields. I'm not mad that they took Trey Lance at all because they know what they're doing. San Fran did their scouting. They gave Trey Lance the their playbook and said, "Go run this shit," and they did, and everything worked out. So bam, it all happened. But Fields, I can't wait to see what he does, and he can handle the cold weather. No worry about that at all. He played at Ohio State, so I can't worry about Chicago. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely don't worry there. All right, I agree with you guys. I would take Tampa slightly over the Rams, but if you're the Rams, you got the best D lineman and the best cornerback in the league. That's a lot right there. That's kind of tough to match up with when you got guys like Leonard Floyd, playing linebacker. They got some really good pieces over there. Brockers, other guys that they don't talk about. But I hear you with Tampa, and the Bears have fallen off a bit. Maybe I should have even put Cleveland or maybe even Buffalo in there or something like that. But
Yeah, I think Brockers is gone, actually.
Oh, Brockers left. You're right. Brockers left. Yeah, I think did he go back to Detroit this year? I'm trying to.
I think he went to Detroit. I think he did.
Yeah, because he joined Jared Goff over in Detroit.
Right. That's exactly right.
that awkward moment they're gonna have over there.
Oh my God, they must be so upset. They must be freaking out. They're like, "Do you see where we are right now? It's snowing and it's May." They're probably going nuts.
Well, not because remember, Brocker said he was glad to have Matthew Stafford. He thought he was a better quarterback than Goff, and then they traded him to Detroit.
Boy, that is definitely going to be funny. Could I be a fly in that locker room?
How many players that Aaron Donald got paid? Everybody that was on that defense 3 years ago, everybody got paid.
Yeah,
because of one player.
Because of Aaron Donald being triple team.
Right.
It's true. It really is true. And you're right about that, Mike. You bring up a great point with Hill and Johnson, who went over to Cleveland, I think it was, both of them.
Yep.
Yeah, you can have a pretty sick defense right now. I don't know if Greedy Williams is going to get his stuff together. You got Denzel Ward, and then you talk about Jadeveon Clowney, who went over there. And again, they just be a running team, and they play defense. They can go far. They get
Greg Newsome is probably one of the best cornerbacks in the draft. No one talked about.
Right?
Yeah. I thought Newsome was going to go to Arizona, but Arizona.
I did too. Yeah,
I had Newsome going to Arizona, and they let him slip away.
He was a sweet
pick. He's a dog. He's a dog.
And they get one of the best linebackers in the draft.
Yeah, Kamara.
Jeremiah Okoro.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Arusa. Right, right.
You don't know why he slipped, right? Y'all know why he slipped?
Heart condition. Yeah, he should have been the first round.
That's why he was slipped to them.
Yeah,
I
thought he was going to go in the middle of the
true. But we'll see down the road.
You said he said it's not true?
Yeah, he said it's not true, but we'll see down the road.
Yeah, I know.
I saw Chip Kelly talking about him, or no, Brian Kelly, my bad. Brian Kelly talking about him when they had that pro day. And Brian Kelly was like, he might be the best linebacker in this draft.
Amazing.
And they let him go to the Browns. The Browns defense is going to be something serious.
That team is going to be something serious. Last year was the first year. That was another one of my bold predictions. I'm like, this will be the first year they actually finally make the playoffs. I didn't even know they're going to win a playoff game. But
the key is going to be Baker Mayfield's the same thing.
Yeah,
Baker Mayfield can make clutch throws, they'll be fine.
That's it. Just he doesn't. As long as he doesn't make mistakes, they will be fine. That's it. He's got to be a good manager.
I'm going to make a bold prediction about Baker.
Go ahead. I want to hear it.
This will be his last year in Cleveland.
Whoa!
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. My thing is, if Baker can get out his head that Odell needs the ball,
he can't.
then he'll be fine. Because we saw how he progressed once Odell got hurt. He was out of the picture. Baker Mayfield was out there balling.
But one thing though with him, you gotta understand he loves the spotlight. So the thing is, with loving the spotlight, can he handle not being the focus of that offense? I don't think he can in the end. And it writes his ticket out of town.
You talking about the spotlight? Talking about maybe him going to the New York Giants next year or something like that. That could be.
He might go to the CFL. No, I'm kidding. He's not going to the CFL. I'm kidding.
Following in Johnny Manziel's footsteps, I see.
But no, he just. I don't see him being in Cleveland next year. You know, he'll follow the wave of other quarterbacks. You know, i.e. Derek Anderson had a great year and then disappeared. So he might be back there.
That's another team that you give Aaron Rodgers a team like that. It's just.
Did you
don't want none of that.
They would be like LeBron who if he won a championship there with Cleveland.
I'm saying, yeah, right. I even heard there were Cleveland fans who were like, "No, we're not getting rid of Baker Mayfield for Aaron Rodgers." I'm like, "What are you all doing?"
You might want to because he's going to guarantee you a championship.
Guaranteed
with that team. With that team, he's going to guarantee you a championship.
Mm-hmm. That's what 39 years of not having a championship will do to your brain.
Yeah,
but
you got Juice, you got Odell, you got Njoku, you got all of them boys over there on offense. Chubb, Hunt, yeah.
Real.
Rodgers will take you to the ship with that.
And they still have Kareem Hunt to go with Nick Chubb.
Yeah, that's so solid. Again, that they run the ball, they go off play action, and they can hit a couple of downfield passes a game. And with that defense, phenomenal. No doubt about it. So I'm looking for big things from Cleveland, definitely. I can't wait for this year. We have an extra game. To me, guys, real quick, a very, very quick thought on this before we go to our very last power rankings and close it out. Why can't the schedule makers make it right where the Thursday night game, the Thursday night teams that are playing, why can't they have a bye the week before? How come they can't figure that out? Because everybody's complaining, we got a short week, and the schedule makers are supposed to be geniuses. Why can't they have the bye the week before? I know
because they didn't hire me. They hired me. I can make it happen. I just need $1 million check.
Get him. The general
is probably more Saturday games. You play them on Saturday instead of Sunday. Then they play on Thursday. That gives them another day. So I think that's one thing that could work.
You took my thoughts right out of my head.
See, there we go.
But that's the only issue with that is they don't want to take away from the college game. Because that's why we don't see the Saturday games until after the college season ends.
Right. That's true. That is true. But yeah, it seems like they keep moving the season.
Or just make the game on Friday. Rather than Thursday, move it to Friday. Friday night football.
People are gonna watch. It don't matter.
Friday night lights. People will be in the bars watching games on Friday night.
That make a whole lot of sense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
People are gonna watch. So, all right, so here we go. Segment 3, real quick on this bad boy, the power rankings. I know it's really early, but we're going off last year. So the top 4, in whatever order you want to put them, it seems like it's if Aaron Rodgers stays, Chiefs, Bucks, Bills, Packers. Any disagreement with the top 4?
Chiefs, Bucks, Bills, Packers.
I don't. I don't have. I mean, those are the NFC, AFC championship games right there.
They are
from last year, yeah.
So I had the Rams 5th. Is that too early for them, or would you put another team? Maybe
I put Cleveland 5th.
Okay. I had them 6th. All right, that's not bad. I could dig that. What do you guys?
Cleveland or Baltimore would probably be 5th for me.
So you all right?
Cleveland or Baltimore.
Now Baltimore's interesting. I got them. What did I put Baltimore on my list over here? Damn it. At number, actually, I have my number 9. No, I'm sorry, I have my number 10. I have them down this year. I mean, I know again, it's based on the running game and everything, and I know they picked up a good wide receiver, but they're playing in a tough ass division. You know, Cleveland and Pittsburgh, and Cincy's on the come up right now. I don't know. I don't know how much faith I have.
Time out. Did you say Cincy is on the come up and they didn't get anybody to block for Joe Burrow?
They got a tackle.
They actually have a tackle. That's why they got
a guard in the draft this year.
Well, I hear you, but you know they always say they get this and that and the other, but you know we got to see it in actual action.
So that's what has me with the Rams not being 5 because I got to see how that defense is going to be after them losing those key pieces.
And they didn't have that many draft picks, so it's gonna be tough in LA.
That's right. I don't even think they picked till like the mid-50s or something like
that. Also another key thing for the Rams too. They lost their defensive coordinator. He's the head coach of the Chargers now.
And their offensive coordinator, who is the offensive coordinator for Seattle.
Oh, I didn't know that one. I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know. Oh man, losing Robert Saleh and Matt LaFleur, I was not happy about that one. But you know, Kyle Shanahan's still the head coach, so things are pretty all right in San Fran. All right, then I have jumbled in here. I got Colts, Titans, Patriots, 49ers, all jumbled around in like the midsection.
You might have the 49ers a little too high.
Yeah,
a little too high. Okay, I think
think so.
It's a little fair.
Too high.
It's a little.
I would say that because all the injuries and things like that.
I would say
they always want to start off with nobody looking at them, and then they can come up from there.
Yeah,
you just don't want to have the spotlight.
That's right. There you go. Thank you. Yeah, you know what I was talking about.
Yeah, I think the coach should be a little lower too. Don't know what Wentz going to do. Wide receivers.
Don't hit on my coach. Don't hit on
wrong running game, but no receiver.
Yeah, I know they're gonna have to work on receiver. Michael Pittman Jr. can't do it by himself. There's no doubt about it. And I don't know, Zach Pascal.
And Paris Campbell can't stay healthy to save his life.
That's another one. Yep, Paris Campbell.
Is T.Y. gonna catch 1 touchdown for every 3 games this year?
Play him every 3rd week in DraftKings, and you're good. That's it. That's
hey, y'all gotta remember we had Phillip Rivers last year, man. He didn't have
he really couldn't throw past 20 yards. You're right. Yeah.
The Colts are one team that Julio Jones would take to the next level.
Yeah.
I heard we in the running to try to get him. So we'll see what happens after June 2nd.
Yeah, that would be a perfect
the
spot.
Colts. Well, that would help a lot. You're not kidding. Yeah,
Him and Michael Pittman on the outside, and you put Ty at slot. I love it.
Yeah,
that would work great.
Y'all still got Jack Doyle at tight end.
What's that?
Jack Doyle, y'all still got him at tight end.
Yeah, we still got that sorry sucker at tight end. him and Mo Alley Cox.
Why does Mo Alley Cox sound like a character off of Living Single? I mean, it just sounds like a character off of I don't know. He sounds like one of the characters that worked at the magazine with the magazine or something.
and we drafted that tight end, but I don't really care about him. That I forget his name.
Exactly. You don't care about him though. That's what you're supposed to.
Some Grayson something. Yeah, I don't care about him, man. He can't catch and he can't block. Like I don't. He's 6'1", so I don't know why we got him. So
and Mo Alley like
love it. All right, so let me ask you a question about a couple of teams before we get out of here. Where would you put the Dolphins? Twan, you go first. Where would you put the Dolphins?
They played very well last year with the ad, and I think they upgraded their team. I put them around 8 or 9.
Okay, that's it's about where I got them toward the end, 8, 9, 10-ish. What about you, Mikey?
I might give them like 11.
11? All right.
11 or 12 because they got to work some things out first. And they got to find out if Tua is actually the guy because they took the safety blanket that was Ryan Fitzpatrick or Fitztragic, whichever one that showed up. Yeah, they took him away.
Yeah, they did take him away. That is true. But I like Tua. I do like Tua. So I think the Dolphins will make the playoffs again. Things expanded and whatnot. We'll see what happens with them. But how about Washington? Will they repeat as champions in the NFC East?
Nope.
No way.
Who do they have as quarterback?
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Oh, that's right. Nah.
Not gonna happen.
On his 857th team.
Yeah,
it ain't gonna happen.
He really is. He really is. You ain't kidding.
I actually think Dallas gets back to the top of the East.
You think Philly gets back to the top of the East?
No, Dallas.
No, I think the Giants actually.
I'm thinking
win the East this year.
I'm thinking Giants also. If Daniel Jones can freaking hold the damn ball, yeah, I think so. Because that defense is sweet, man.
But it also depends on what defense shows up for Dallas. If Quinn can put together the defense that he had in Seattle, which he didn't really put together that defense, somebody else did.
Right. He managed it.
Yeah, he managed it. But if he can build something like that, then that defense would be solid. And I think they're on the road to trying to do that because they went nothing but defense this draft. Besides maybe
and Michael Parsons, he finna put everybody out of the job. Jalen Smith, Vander Esch, both of them gone.
Yes.
He brought over some of his Atlanta players too.
Yeah. But Keanu Neal, I think, is nice though. Like I thought Keanu Neal was nice.
Yeah.
He just
but is he a linebacker or is he a safety though? That's
the linebacker in college. That's what people fail to forget.
Yeah.
That's why
he was I'm sorry. He was a safety some too in college. He wasn't always just a linebacker.
But you got
he played better as a linebacker.
Yeah, he was a hybrid player. But you got to remember Deion Buchanan, the one for Arizona,
right?
That moved from safety down to linebacker, and it was like a whole new game with him playing linebacker because he could stay on the field every time, like pass plays, run plays. He could be on the field. That's why I see with Keanu Neal, as long as he stay healthy.
Buchanan couldn't cover a plate with a napkin. That's how bad.
But Keanu Neal's a dog, and so I mean Parsons is going to put Jalen Smith out of job. Van Der Esch is going to take himself out of job because he can't stay on the field to save his life.
Can't make the club in the tub.
He's Sean Lee. He the new
Sean Lee.
That's all he is.
I was just gonna say
Sean Lee 2.0.
You ain't kidding. Let me ask you about. I got to ask you about one more team that I've been going back and forth with Damien like crazy over here, and obviously we're talking about his Saints right now. I have never been a big believer in Jameis Winston. I don't know why he was drafted number 1. I know the kid's got talent. I'm not saying that, but I never felt like he was going to be that guy. I know he threw for 5,000 yards and 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions, but can Sean Payton reel him in, Chris, and make Jameis Winston the guy that Drew Brees couldn't be last season, throwing the ball downfield, with accuracy.
So, in the famous words of Jameis Winston, you take away the turnovers, he balling. So we're gonna just say that off rip. But I think he can. I think with Tampa Bay, you had a coach that didn't really believe in you when Bruce Arians came over there. And Bruce Arians kind of showed that. Like, you saw his demeanor change a lot when they got Tom Brady. The way he was berating Jameis Winston in the public, like when they had media and everything. So you saw it change a lot when you had Tom Brady, but I think he didn't really believe in him. But I think Sean Payton believes in him and believes he can turn it over. And Jameis had LASIK, so now he can see the field.
That's right.
Dropping.
I mean, that means the crab legs and seafood department too.
He's got a lot of seafood in New Orleans now, right by him. So
I'm with you though. Like, I was never a fan of Jameis. I mean, he had turnover issues in college when he was at Florida State. He had turnover issues. So I guess like we talked about earlier, like I said, if Mack Jones didn't have the same quarterbacks that came out this year, he would have probably been the number one pick. It was the same with Jameis, because in that year, who did he really who else was better?
Marcus Mariota.
Yeah, who else? So that's what I'm saying. Like, so at that point, you have to take whatever is given to you.
Yeah,
and it's funny you said that, because the Saints, they were going to move up the board to take Mac Jones, but he made it all the way to New England. He had to fill back one more spot, they would have moved up and took him. But
see, now what does that tell you right there, fellas? You know, maybe then see, this is what I'm talking about. I'm not sold on Jameis Winston, and when they put Taysom, what's his freaking name? Taysom Hill in lane here, over Jameis Winston, that said a lot to me, guys.
It did, but I think it was also because Taysom knows the offense. He had been in that offense for a few years before Jameis got there.
Okay.
And I think the reason they would have took Mac Jones wasn't to replace Jameis, but it was to have that blanket back there if Jameis got hurt or something happened.
Not in the first round, man. Not in the first round. You can't be taking like that.
But you never know. You never know. But like with Taysom Hill, he's not a starting quarterback in the NFL.
I agree.
He's a true gadget guy. Like, that is a gadget guy for real.
Yeah, he is a gadget.
But here's the thing I want to talk about here. Jameis might be the guy if and only if Sean Payton falls out of love with Taysom Hill. He is in love with some Taysom Hill.
Yeah.
He probably got some Taysom Hill bed sheets in his house. But he's just like, man, come on.
But Taysom Hill take that pay cut or restructure his contract to play basically for free, so they can re-sign
the reason why he did that one is because he's betting on himself for 1 year.
Yeah,
and of course, also help their contract, their salary situation.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I watched Taysom Hill play in college, and by the way, folks, Taysom Hill is 31 years old.
Right.
So people forget that.
Yeah.
But when he was playing in college, he couldn't hit the broadside of a barn at quarterback.
Yeah.
So if you're going to tell me that he's going to be the starting quarterback in New Orleans, you've got a serious problem, and they might have to scratch and claw to make the playoffs, i.e. give the ball to Alvin Kamara early, often, and a ton of times. And Michael Thomas is going to be pissed off by that.
I mean, they can just keep going slants to Michael Thomas. That's all he ran anyway.
Is Latavius Murray still there in New Orleans?
Yeah.
No,
is there?
I thought he was gone.
He might be.
Sure. Am I thinking Minnesota? Who backed him up last year?
It was Latavius Murray.
Okay.
No, he's still in New Orleans. He's still there.
Okay. Yeah. They need him, like with the way that they were using Ingram with him. That was phenomenal at that time. They need him to play ball also, because Kamara cannot touch the ball 40 times a game. You got to kill him. You know,
he might have to with this team this year on offense, especially if Taysom Hill starts.
They should have went out to Kyle Trask, because I think he would have fit that.
I thought that too. I thought they should have went out to Kyle Trask as well. I thought so.
Yeah,
I thought they might.
They did get Kyle Trask. I'm sorry, they did get Kyle Trask, didn't they?
No, he went to.
He went to Tampa.
No, he went to Tampa. Yeah.
Okay.
He with Brady.
Yeah. My apologies.
He perfect for that offense too.
Eric's on the clipboard for 5 more years. Brady played at least freaking 50. This guy, it's unbelievable.
Brady's trying to be the first quarterback to get AARP and still get an NFL paycheck. And then he's going to be endorsed by Geritol.
He gonna be doing Medicare commercials.
Real.
Oh, that's freaking awesome, guys. Yo, I had a blast, man. I'm glad you guys came through tonight. This was great. This was really great. Freaking nicknames, power rankings, comparing plays. And I learned a lot of stuff, too. That's what it's all about. So that's why you guys are on here. I wish Damien could have joined us, but the four of us, I had a freaking great time. And, yo, Mikey P, tell him where you're at, baby.
You can find me on Twitter at Mike Patton82. That's Mike Patton82. And as far as what I do, I'm a freelance writer, so you can find me pretty much anywhere.
Yeah. And find him every time he's doing a podcast because he brings the heat. Brought it right away the second he got on here. Twan, you do the same thing, brother. Tell him.
Yeah, I'm a YouTube creator, mainly Atlanta sports, but I do all headlines. You can find me on Twitter at fatboyslim_21. And that's where all my content is, from YouTube videos to writing and anything else I can think of, debate questions. I do it all.
That's for sure. Another great follow right there. This is why I follow these guys. Chris, tell them all about you, bro.
All right, so you can find me on Twitter at DropBallsPod. Also, you can find the podcast at Dropballs Podcast on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, all of those. Also, I do some YouTube videos on Redacted Media YouTube channel, so you can find me there as well. It's all sports content for me. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, man. Look, the three of you guys do an amazing job when you're together, apart, doing your solo thing. I love it. That's why I wanted to get you guys all in here tonight, and I'm glad that you did and you had the time. Guys, my name is Jason Fearman at Sports Prophet 1, the number one on Twitter. The show, 3rd and 3 podcast, drops every Wednesday night live with Tricky Nicky Gist and the real deal Damian Adams. You all know it. Check it out. We have a football, we have a fun, but we're going to get into more NBA, no question, because it is definitely time to get into the season. Maybe we've got a few more games, and then playoffs are coming up, right, fellas?
Yep.
We almost
Time
there.
for the Lakers to do the improbable. Win from the 7th seed.
Hey, man. If they can get LeBron 75%, AD 80%, they could probably still do it. And that will be a conversation we'll have pretty soon. There's no doubt about it. But for now, fellas, thank you for coming on. It's been awesome. The Power 32 podcast. It's been my pleasure, guys. Really, I appreciate it.
No problem.
Thanks for having us.
Anytime.
All right. We will do it again, my friends. All right.
Definitely.
Everybody, we're out. We'll see you next time. Enjoy your weekend. Peace.